think the conversion of the two big trends in the luxury segments, the SUV trend as well as electric SUV and electric cars in general, is really merging into one. And so for us, it's really a perfect opportunity because we're placing the e-tron right in the middle of where the action is, between the B and the C segment, smack in the C segment, and that's of course where it's going to be very successful. So obviously at 193 inches of length, it fits right in the C segment. It's actually just a few inches shorter than a Q7, but it's got some very good interior advantages as well. And we wanted to, of course, make sure that it gets fully recognized as an SUV. When you look at it right away, the dimensions of the car as well as proportions all immediately tell you it's an SUV. So we made the car exactly for that purpose because we wanted to be mainstream and we wanted to get the people converting from internal combustion engines to EVs as easy as possible. And it doesn't get easier than the car you're already used to. So it's absolutely perfect. Yes, absolutely. So of course, we first of all made a lot of provisions inside the car to make sure that it tries to get as much range as possible on a day-to-day actual usage basis. This is why we built a heat pump right into the car, which is able to get heat from other control units and utilize it for heating the vehicle. This is why we are using a very sophisticated and really state-of-the-art recuperation system, which is really trying to get each and every mile possible out of movement of the vehicle. So this is very key. But of course, we didn't leave it at the car because the ecosystem is so important in this case. This is why we have a very sophisticated offer for home charging. The charger comes actually free with the car. In addition to that, we are partnering with Amazon Home Services to deliver home charging services as well. This is great because they, of course, have a vast network of vetted electricians that know exactly what they're doing. And beyond that, of course, once you get on the road, once you get on the highway, we're partnering with Electrify America. By the time that we launch, there's going to be somewhere near 2,000 chargers altogether. And 500 chargers will be the high-speed ones. And our car can charge at speeds of 150 kilowatts, which is also the best in industry at the moment, and recharges the battery up to 80% in about 30 minutes. Two electric motors, one front, one rear, because it gives us, of course, great dynamic balance, weight balance on one hand, but of course at the same time it gives us some really unique ability to take Quattro to a completely new level. Quattro has been obviously very dear to our hearts, and we've had that as our competitive advantage for many years. And now with this new system, what we're able to do is really get magnificent traction off the line, because we're not just using conventional traction control, we're actually utilizing these electric motors to get the car moving. And it's a completely new concept. Again, it's something that is not out there in the industry, and I firmly believe that it's really the next big thing for Quattro. Well, safety was absolutely key to us, and of course, going into the SUV segment, it was absolutely key that we have the safe car on the road, and we did that by obviously putting a very sophisticated structure around the battery. So we have a very good protection from any kind of intrusion in case of an impact. In addition to that, because we have a liquid conditioning inside the battery, we actually place that on the bottom of the battery so that if there is an intrusion, it can actually just go straight down and not over the cells or into the cells, which is obviously what you don't want in that situation. So very sophisticated battery, and that was to us absolutely key to make sure that we do not compromise anywhere when it comes to safety. Well, you know, it's really quite telling. When Mark Lichter brought his design team into the wind tunnel and basically said, you know what, the car that's going to have the best drag coefficient is the car that's going to win. And that was the charging message essentially to his design team, and the car that was the best is actually the car that made it. So that's for me a very clear statement that you know, the commitment to aerodynamics was absolutely there, and it's absolutely crucial for an EV. But EV presents some interesting freedoms as well as some interesting challenges. The freedoms, of course, are from the fact that you don't have a big motor in the front. You can obviously, you're able to reduce overhang for sure. You're able to actually get a very good body rigidity from the battery, of course, and you can actually extend the rear overhang as well. And then, of course, working on aerodynamics, as we mentioned, is absolutely key because you want that range and you want that air resistance as much as possible. Yes, yes, and that was absolutely key to us as well, is really make sure that it's first of all a proper Audi, from a design to a quality to craftsmanship to everything you find on the interior to creature comforts. All these things were absolutely important. We wanted to make sure, again, that when we talk to people about an EV, they have the easiest time switching from a conventional vehicle, and I think this car really proves it.